Today on Public People, Private Lives, Stepfanie Kramer, public person, TV's sexiest cop, accomplished singer and gifted songwriter. With Mom, she's battled some tough times. Stepfanie Kramer, private person.
She's remarkable. I've learned a lot from her. You know, she is also one of Public People, Private Lives. Well, maybe somebody will spot her. Austin just twixed us some more background. She just lost her last appeal. Was due for lethal injection yesterday. Definitely the end of the road. Apparently she was hell on wheels in the joint. They had to lock her down both night and day. What's the deal with her? Who is she?
Stepfanie Kramer plays tough-minded detective Dee Dee McCall on TV's #1 crime show, Hunter. Stephanie's already been recognized as an actress. She's looking forward, though, to being recognized for another talent that lies very close to her heart.
You turn off the light. You cut me to the quick. You make me feel guilty while you tear my soul apart. Wounded to the heart.
If I didn't have music in my life and around me, I think I'd probably just sort of dry up and die. I mean, it's so powerful for me. There is no limitation on sound, and it's so energizing to me.
Between her heavy shooting schedule on Hunter and the work necessary to prepare for a new album, Stephanie's life is filled with energy and activity. But her home here atop the Hollywood Hills is a place of serenity and beauty, a private place that reflects Stepfanie.
I have a friend of mine who came in and she looked at it and she looked around the house and she looked at me and said, "This house is it's a little off, just like you." So it's a unique home, you know, it really is.
I also couldn't help but notice your refrigerator door.
Oh, my God, I hope it was clean. What'd you find on there?
Little notes, little things to remind you of things to think about. Little phrases that I'm sure mean something just to you.
Exactly.
One of them was gratitude. What does that mean?
Big one, gratitude. You know, I think that it's very important to live in a state of gratitude, regardless of who you are or where you are or what you're doing. It doesn't mean that I don't have difficult times. By all means, we all do, you know. But I come from a really strong place of faith, and gratitude is something that I think people forget.
You seem to be somewhat of a loner. You live in this home alone.
I'm a very private person, and it's no pun on your show. Thank you. No pun intended. But I really am. And I like to have my space to myself. I need to have alone time where I don't see anybody. I don't have to converse with anyone. I can just be in my space and do what I need to do for me.
What about your personal life? Is there going to be a man in Stepfanie Kramer's life?
Well, I certainly hope so. I don't, you know, maybe someone will come walking through the door on Tuesday. Maybe it'll be 3 years from now. I mean, I don't know. I know that I have to keep on doing what I have to do for me first.
Well, I mean, it can take a long time, you know. You got to kind of go out after this, you know.
Thanks,
you can't
Mom.
just sit there and wait. I'm not going to come banging on your door.
But I'm not sitting there, like, waiting. You know, I'm still doing what I have to do in my life. You know, I don't like sit at home going, you know, I'm not, like, doing that. I mean, I like I said, I have to still do what I have to do for me first. You know?
What kind of a person would this have to be? Aside from someone who will meet you halfway, and aside from somebody who probably has his own life and career.
Well, I think if you find an individual who's secure within himself, regardless of what his profession is, then he can be more accepting of himself and therefore accepting of others, and not put so many conditions on. You know, and certainly any individual who comes into my life recognizes that I'm not the so-called normal young woman of America, you know.
But it doesn't seem that this is part of your dream.
Well, but you see,
you have a dream that's already headed in this direction.
Well,
and if this comes, then it comes.
And if it doesn't, then it doesn't. But I can't sit up and make myself nuts about it, can I? What purpose will that serve? You know, to feed into a frustration about it, or gee, how come, you know, this and that? Well, because it just isn't right now. I think that ultimately down the road it will probably happen when the time is right.
Have you come close before?
Really? Really?
Yeah, sure. I would think you must.
Yes, I have. I have come. Yes.
Yes. Well, can I ask, without prying too much, what was the difficulty? Was it the career?
Yes, it was. Basically, it was not being able to be there all the time for that individual. Be at home with dinner on the table, be with them when they needed me over there in their situation or whatever. I had my commitments too. I don't sit around and make myself, depressed about the past in that sense. What's done is done. But yeah, I've come close. Almost.
Mark?
Marriage may not be a priority for Stepfanie right now, but friends and family are. Having grown up with an alcoholic father who died when she was 12, Stepfanie learned early to take care of herself, and throughout the tough times, her mother was her strongest support.
Cut.
It wasn't easy, especially being, younger. It was very hard. And I give my mother an enormous amount of credit because she kept, it was my brother and I, older brother, and she kept us together as a family unit. And things were very difficult financially. She went and held down 3 jobs to be able to pay the bills and pay the debts and keep us in a house and not have to go on welfare. I mean, things were not like peachy. She's a pretty remarkable gal. She's American Native, Salaga, which is southeastern tribe of Cherokee Nation.
Do you stay in touch with that culture?
My connection to the Native American culture is very strong. Very strong. It's a very big and powerful essence of who I am and how I have a perspective on life and how I go through my life in many ways.
Can you give me some examples of that?
I believe that the earth is the Mother Earth, and we are here as its children, as its guests. But when you're a guest, you have respect for the person who's holding your honor, and all that man has done is destroyed it.
And we have to change. We have to change our habits.
And I believe that if you want to change the earth, I do, for the better, and the betterment of humanity, then the best place to start is within yourself.
While Stepfanie's private life may be filled with introspection, after 5 years spent perfecting her TV character, the public has been convinced that the fearless Dee Dee McCall is real.
Car's on the hot sheet, and there's a recently fired shotgun underneath the passenger seat.
I just went to the market. I was just getting some stuff, for that refrigerator with all signs on it. And I'm in the market, and I get to the checkout line, and I'm waiting in the little line. And all of a sudden, this woman, one line over, goes, oh my God, my purse is gone. And I look as well as does everyone else, and there's this guy just tooling out the door with a purse. And I looked at her, and we all watched the guy go, and she says, he stole my purse. He stole my purse. And of course, then, the people came up to take care of the business necessary, and everything. She looks at me and goes, well, you're a cop. Why didn't you go after him?
Oh, boy.
And I looked at her, and I went, excuse me? I'm just here buying some bananas, babe, Who do you think? But she just kind of made that instant recognition and was, go get him. And I said, no, it's not my job.
That's great.
It was very strange. But that was the only time anyone ever,
Now you've achieved quite a bit of recognition.
It's just the beginning.
Is it? Now tell me, in what way is it just the beginning? What have you got up your sleeve?
What are you cooking? I have a small black turtleneck. Well, it's funny. So many people look at me and they think, oh, you've made it. And for me, this is just the beginning. And I need to expand. I believe in change. I believe in growth. I believe in taking chances. If you don't change, if you don't take chances, you don't grow. And if you don't grow, you are not living. And you're not creating your full potential within yourself. You just kind of stay, and I can't do that. Life is way too short, and I have much too much to do in my life. So I look forward to it. I'm going to have a heck of a good time, too. That's it. I got to have a good time while I do it. Otherwise, why do it, right?
Stepfanie's positive outlook comes from her belief in living for today. She told me, life is a vacation. Either you can have a great time or you can have a terrible time. But when you die, you go home. So don't go away.